Hello and welcome to today's episode of Identifying Workplace Bullying and How It Affects the Individual. I am Dr. Rosada Jones, and today we're diving into a serious topic that affects millions of employees worldwide: workplace bullying. Workplace bullying, much like its counterpart in schools, is complex and multifaceted. When most people think about workplace bullying, they immediately think about sexual harassment. And while this is certainly one form of bullying, there are many other ways it can manifest. Verbal abuse, intimidation, and sabotage are just a few examples. In fact, even though researchers have spent 3 decades studying workplace bullying, they still haven't been able to agree on a universal definition. What's clear is that there are common characteristics that appear across cultures and workplaces, and that workplace bullying often occurs over a sustained period of time. So what does workplace bullying look like? Let's explore some of the different forms. Verbal abuse, which often includes that yelling, that constant criticism, or the derogatory comments aimed at undermining the person's self-confidence and self-worth. This type of bullying is damaging because it attacks the very core of that individual's belief in their own abilities. Intimidation and threatening behavior carries aggressive gestures, threats of violence, or creating a hostile work environment that makes the targeted person feels unsafe. These actions can leave a person constantly on the edge and fearful of what might happen next. Humiliation, such as publicly shaming someone for mistakes or belittling their contribution, is another form of bullying. When this happens, it's not just the individual's performance that suffers, it's their standing among their peers as well. Work sabotage is another form of workplace bullying, and this is manifested through withholding of critical information or resources which are necessary for someone to do their job effectively. This leaves the victim set up to fail even when they are trying their hardest. Exclusion and isolation is another form of workplace bullying. It can also take the form of deliberate social ostracism. Someone might feel excluded from work activities, meetings, or informal gatherings, which can lead to the feelings of isolation and loneliness. It is also important to recognize that workplace bullying can be covert or overt. Covert tactics is where the bully prefers to operate behind the scenes, behind the closed doors, using subtle tactics or manipulating others to do their dirty work. This makes it incredibly difficult for the victim to identify who is behind the bullying, let alone confront it. Overt tactics, on the other hand, in most cases, the bullying is done more visibly, like when a group of people gang up on a single target. This type of bullying can escalate quickly, leaving the victim feeling completely vulnerable. So why does workplace bullying happen in the first place? Often, workplace bullying is driven by the need for power and control, the person's insecurity, or a toxic workplace culture that tolerates such behavior. Unfortunately, these factors create an environment where bullying can thrive unchecked. It is so critical for individuals in the workplace to reflect on their own behavior. So I ask you, what does workplace bullying look like to you? Have you witnessed it? Have you experienced it in your workplace? Are we even unintentionally participating in or condoning workplace bullying? Are we fostering a positive, supportive environment? Are we turning a blind eye when we see something is wrong? Addressing workplace bullying requires collective effort, from the individual's accountability to institutional policies that promote respect for all. We all play a role in creating a safer, more inclusive environment. Everyone needs to feel safe to speak up about their experiences, and we all must be encouraged to treat our colleagues with dignity, respect, and love. How can we work to create a culture of kindness and understanding that prioritizes the overall health and success of our work environments? I challenge you over this week to find ways to work on you and your approach to this sensitive topic. Until next time, Let's continue to foster workplaces that values compassion, that values respect, and the well-being of every individual. Let's make our workspaces better, one act of kindness at a time. And remember, the law of oneness, the way we treat others is the way this universe will treat us. I am Dr. Rosada Jones.